Gets in, lads. Welcome back to the NFL podcast. This is going to be our first episode of a new series we're doing where we're going to be covering a lot of the CONCACAF transfer rumors and deals and whatnot, at least through the winter transfer window. So if you guys want more episodes on those, probably weekly, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Leave a like if you do enjoy and leave a comment on your thoughts or who we should cover in the next video, whatnot. But to start, we'll start with Alex Padilla to Pumas is the biggest rumor in Mexican football right now, I believe. Alex Padilla, one of their top goalkeeping prospects in a long time, arguably since Memo, might be returning to Liga MX from Athletic Bilbao in Spain. How do we feel about that?
No, horrible. Yeah. Granted, you got to look at a goalkeeping perspective because goalkeeping is a little bit different on the pitch in terms of like you need game time to develop. You know what I mean? Because typically, a lot of teams go for the older keepers because of the experience. Because a lot of the experience is very important. Goalkeeping, being able to read the game and such, being able to direct your team. So, I mean, look, he's only played in 5 matches, right? He's conceded 4 goals in those 5 matches. But the games he has played has been incredible though. But it's important. What?
No, it was just a funny way to put it. I'm sorry. Keep going. It was funny.
But he's only started in 3 of them. If you actually look at his stats, and he's been subbed in twice. So he's kind of a third choice keeper, kind of second choice depending on how the manager's feeling. I'm disappointed he's back to Liga MX low key because I thought we were finally getting someone out. You know what I mean? A young prospect, someone who's quality out of there. In Mexico, but he's going back. I get it. Game time is important, develop the craft, but I wish he would just be somewhere else. I have a question. I forgot to do this in the research. Is this a loan spell or is this a permanent transfer?
No. Okay. So as far as we know, this is all just reports, of course. It is this will be a permanent transfer as far as we know. Yeah. Which makes it that much more disappointing for me.
If it was a loan spell, I'd get it. I'd be like, all right, I'm cool with this. If there's an option to buy, I'd be like, well, we're fucked. Because they'll buy. Pumas, definitely will buy. Then he's going to be there until he's 35 or 30, just hopping around Liga MX teams as all keepers do in that league. So, no dig.
I feel like a nice little, second La Liga, second division loan or something would be so much better than going to not only just Pumas, which again was a lower quality of opponent in that league, but also I feel like it would be harder to get out of that league because of the coverage is not the same. You don't have the scouts like you do in Europe. So like it just hurts his career. I feel like yes, like Andres said, the game time is great, but you can get that and still have the benefits of other things that Europe offers. In the Liga, if you want to speak Spanish, stay in Spain. Just go down a division or something. I just feel like going all
language based mindset kicking in right there.
I just say it's a real thing though. Language is a real thing. Like the barrier is a big part that Gareth Bale is an example that comes to my head with him having trouble fitting in. So if that's what he's looking for to be comfortable to talk with his teammates and all that, which I totally get. Stay in Spain, but drop a division or 2, get that experience.
Yeah,
it's possible. It's there. I'm sure there are clubs there that are looking for someone.
Yeah, without it,
disappointing.
It's unfortunate for him because I think Bilbao would have been an amazing place, amazing opportunity. But they're absolutely stacked at a goalkeeper's position right now. They're not looking for another goalkeeper, which is very unfortunate for him. But I understand the game time argument for him. Yes, obviously, players of that age and potential need to have game time. But you're telling me you can't find that elsewhere in Europe?
Well, it's not just that. Sorry to interrupt really quick. But they're gonna look to cash in here. Let's be real. Because Pineda does have some money to his name because how young he is, stuff like that, and how big of a not an icon, but how big of an importance he has for the future of Mexico. And especially if you sell to a Liga MX team, they're probably going to be willing to pay top dollar than most teams will, or That's even fair. Get a loan offer. So it's probably from a financial perspective, they know they can cash in here.
But
I wish it wasn't like that.
I wish it wasn't like that at all. My thing is, you're telling me he has no opportunity in Europe elsewhere that would pay a similar amount, right? I would have loved to see him go to a Dutch team or a Portuguese team, even maybe a Bundesliga team, one of those, not quite Premier League yet. Give him the opportunity to get some game time. It's still in Europe, and you go to a PSV, you go to a Feyenoord, you're playing Champions League, Europa League football, things like that on a regular basis. But you're going to Pumas, and I will say, if he was to return to Liga MX, Pumas would be one of the better options, just because Pumas is known a little bit more for setting talent overseas and not keeping them in the way that Chivas does or a Pachuca does. Like those kind of teams.
Yeah, America.
It's fine. Too. Yeah, it's fine. But you're telling me there's no other opportunity than to return to Mexico? Like, I don't know. If he gets game time, good. If he gets shipped off later and we're proven wrong, then fine. But more so, he shouldn't be going back to Mexico as a statement. I mean, the biggest thing with Mexican talents for the past few decades has been how easy it is for them to return to Mexico because of comfort, right? I remember talking about this in the very beginning of our podcast. Is Mexican youth talent likes comfort, and you stay in Mexico, stay with your family, and I get that. That's fine, and to each their own. But when everybody's doing it, there's a little bit of a problem here, right? I feel like this is, to me, obviously saying that Mexico, as a whole, is not really breeding these players to move abroad and become one of the best in the world. They just want to keep him here, and that's what's telling me here is I think Padilla, out of all Mexican players, like him and Santi is the top two. I think what should be the two prime examples of Mexicans in Europe. Stay in Europe, be uncomfortable, and as a result become one of the greatest players of your national team's history in the future. Or even go to give me a South America team. Go to like a team in the Brasileiro in Brazil. Give me something like that, something a little bit different. At least give me a different story. Yeah. So Padilla to Pumas, I don't know. It's kind of whack. Do we see him leaving Pumas?
No,
when the time is right?
Trapped. Yeah, I don't know.
He's gonna be trapped. Okay. He's gonna be too comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
But granted, he was born in Spain, though. So
I mean, he's not Mexican through and through in the way that a lot of the other players are.
Half.
Yeah, half. And I'm not trying to take away his Mexicanness.
No, I'm just saying he may break that pattern because he's not from Mexico, grassroots type thing.
Yeah, without a doubt. But it's not really looking good in that scenario because he's already going back. He's going to Liga MX for any reason. It's hard for me to see that. I don't know. If I'm obviously every scout is different, every team is different. But if you're looking at a player to bring in, you want an ambitious player. You want this player puts themselves in uncomfortable positions on the pitch and off the pitch. I think a lot of eyes are going to be lost. Like Diego said, there's going to be a lot of eyes that are not going to be on him anymore because of the fact he's going to be in Mexico.
Gassing him up, saying he's the next Memo or the next.
Yeah, and he could be. Thing. He could. I don't think he won't be. But what was Memo doing? Right, he was going abroad.
He went abroad. Exactly. He was playing La Liga too.
Yeah, exactly. He was doing other things than being comfortable in Liga MX.
Pay the road. But to be even more disappointed, Elijah, let's be real. If we go into our next few players that we're talking about, it just goes for a downhill decline for the Mexican national team in there.
Yeah, it just gets worse and worse.
It just gets worse, especially two starters rumored to be back. I kind of want to group them. Can we group these two guys together?
Group them.
All right, Orbelín Pineda and Luis Chavez are both rumored to go back to Chivas. So that's disappointing, especially Luis Chavez. 20 years old. He's kind of hopped around a little bit when he is in Europe, but Orbelín Pineda, I get. I mean,
I don't like him, so go back. Go back.
That's crazy. Whoa.
That's insane. Bro turned so Republican there all of a sudden. He said, "I don't like him. Send him back. Send him back to Mexico.
Send him back.
That's crazy.
We'll transport him back ourselves. We'll pay for Greece.
We want to go to Greece. Greece and Russia are where they're both at. You want to go all the way over there?
Yeah.
But Greece I could get behind. I don't know about Russia at the moment.
I'm not going over there.
No. But Chavez, I want Chavez to stay. I think.
But Pineda. Yeah.
Pineda. I mean, look. You want to know the stat line? He has more yellow cards than assists this season in 14 games. He has 2 yellow cards and 1 assist.
I don't like that, brother.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for him. It's pretty brutal. Apparently, the feed's already been agreed to, though. It's up to Pineda if he wants to make the move or not. Yeah. So it's up to him. Let's see if he's able to break the cycle that all these Mexican players are going through. Personally, I could see him coming back just so he can get more game time because he's not really getting a whole lot of game time. He's only out of the games he has played, he's only playing 60% of the time in the starting lineup. So it's not too great for him, especially if he's trying to make a good push for the national team in terms of consistently starting. Now, Luis Chavez, on the other hand, a little bit different because he was injured for an extended period of time, missed the whole month of September. So a little rough for him, but it's all about the comfortability of these players. How comfortable are they we going back to Mexico, like you said, Elijah. It just kind of depends on that. But he's had a better season than Pineda.
Luis Chavez is okay in Europe. Like he can stay in Europe, and I feel like that's what makes it sting so much more, is that he's choosing not to. Like don't get me wrong, he's not a Premier League starter. He might not be a La Liga starter, or at least a top 10 team in La Liga. Whatever. Like he's playing in Russia.
He's solid though. He's solid enough to
he's
be there.
Decent. Yeah, he's not a player that I think has to come back to Chivas. Right? There are players in the world that sure it makes more sense for them to go to like Liga MX than something else. Yeah, like Chicha. Yes, exactly. He did his time elsewhere. He was ambitious and still in the way he went to the MLS and then went to the Liga MX. But like, if any, you could say like, I want to say, what are they cooking in Liga MX? Nothing.
Nothing's been cooked.
There's nothing to be cooked.
They forgot to turn the stove on. Let me tell you, they're thinking it's cooking, but they forgot to turn the stove on. It's just gas. It's just waiting to explode.
If they're buying the ingredients, but they can't catch fire. Yeah,
they can't catch fire. But a good thing for Luis Chavez, there's some hope. There's no agreement signed. The clubs are still talking. Yes. So Moscow and Chivas are still talking. So kind of
there is optimism apparently, according to some reports. There is optimism between the two, and in my experience of looking at these transfer rumors, if a Liga MX team is optimistic that they're going to get their player, they're going to get their player. If they feel as though they're going to do it, it's going to happen.
They got to drive a little like spice.
It's rare that it doesn't happen.
They got to say optimistic, so it's you left questioning.
Yeah. So both in Chivas, great. But then let's talk about the Mexican national team real quick. Who does that leave in Europe? You have Santi. You have Julian Araujo.
If he's injured, say I don't even know if
he's
you
injured,
really
so you can't even count him right now. Maybe Chino Huerta, which I think we should talk about in the next episode because that's starting to ramp up. Chino Huerta might be going to Spain, either Girona or Osasuna. Is the two that I'm talking about. But we'll talk about more of that next week. Quiñones is in Saudi Arabia.
That don't count. It's a glorified MLS.
I forget his name. Who's the defender in Russia that plays with Luis Chavez?
Cesar Montes.
Cesar Montes is
Johan Vasquez.
Over there, Johan Vasquez. Memo.
No, Arteaga. No, isn't he somewhere in Europe?
Arteaga, is he? I thought he was at.
I thought he was somewhere in Europe.
Put me in my office real quick. No, he plays for Monterrey. That's okay. That's what I thought.
My bad, My bad. I don't know. I thought he was playing in like a really low like La Liga team or something like bench. No, left bench.
No, he'd be so lucky. He'd be so lucky.
Damn. Wait, our midfield. Hold on. Let me think of the midfielder real quick. No,
talk to me.
Yeah, our midfield. No, it's all Liga MX.
It's just okay, right?
No, Lozano. If we count Lozano, that's MLS, baby.
Yeah, that's not Europe though. I mean, it's equal footing, if not worse. So, like, it's such a stain to see all these players return to the Liga MX. It's such a stain for the Mexican national team, right? There was an era where you had the whole starting 11. Were starters.
Beautiful era.
What a time. And now, and at the time, USA was fielding 5 or 6 MLS players at the time. Now, almost the entire U.S. men's national team, 26-man squad that are being called up, are playing in Europe and playing at high levels in Europe. Compared to the Mexican national team, everybody wants to sit at home. Everybody wants to come home and just relax. And it's reflecting, right? I feel like I'm accurate in saying it's reflecting in these performances and the overall outlook of those two teams. So Chavez and Orbelin Pineda. Pineda's fine. I don't think it would have raised that big of a concern, but to have Chavez doing it the same too. And also, shame on these Mexican these Liga MX teams, right? Because it's not like the players are also choosing to. These teams are going after them, and I get that you want the best players, especially these.
Shame on them.
But shame.
How dare you want to win Liga MX? Damn. Chivas, how dare you have aspirations to finally do something in that league? How dare you?
Exactly, I know, and also they haven't been doing much recently. But like, I don't know, man. The team, the federation obviously cares more about the league than it does the national team. And why?
Hey, at least the president stepped down. We take that. We take the small.
He did,
wins,
but like it's not because he was doing something wrong. He didn't like protest. That's beside the point. That's beside the point.
Elijah's really disappointed this episode. It's not his Met national team, but he cares a little bit. You know what I mean? Despite popular belief, he does care a little bit.
I care, 1, as a half Mexican. 2, as a CONCACAF fan. Right? I want CONCACAF despite having three of the most advanced countries in the world, USA, Mexico, Canada, in my opinion, we still have less potential as a whole than Africa and Asia. So what the hell are we doing? That's why it pisses me off, is to see the lack of ambition from anybody. This is not just for Mexican players, even for the USA. Let's say if Christian Pulisic did end up going back to the MLS before he went to Milan.
Landon Donovan-esque.
Yeah, his comments. If that were to happen, I'd be just disappointed for the same reason. That's just why. Speaking. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to segue. Never mind. You go ahead. No. You got to segue. I was going to try and cheer you up a little bit. I was going to be like, all right, let's talk about something more positive in this transfer window for CONCACAF.
There you go.
A little bit more positive. On the U.S. side, unfortunately, for me. But a little bit more positive. Ricardo Pepi. Very interesting report came out recently saying a Premier League club came in for him.
Which apparently, according to some reports, was apparently Liverpool. So I've heard that was apparently Liverpool. Allegedly. But we'll talk about this. We can talk about Liverpool or Premier League as a whole. To you guys, Diego, I'll ask you first. Is Ricardo Pepi ready for the Premier League?
I don't know if he's not ready to start. He's not ready to start.
No, he's not ready to start.
He doesn't even always start for PSV. They start Luke de Jong a lot of the time, which
is
nothing
dumb.
Against
absolutely stupid, because Ricardo Pepi does so much more than Luke de Jong does, but they still start Luke de Jong.
Because bro.
Luke de Jong provides a different. Luke de Jong is a very different type of player than Ricardo Pepi. He's not the goal scorer that Ricardo Pepi is. I don't know how PSV plays, but from what I understand, Luke de Jong, he adds that target man. So maybe, I don't know. Besides the point, maybe they like how he adds to the team overall, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Pepi, and even though he doesn't start, and whether you agree or disagree with that doesn't. I don't think he's gonna all of a sudden be scoring hat tricks and braces by putting it into a team, even if it is Liverpool. You've seen plenty of players take a long time to adapt and get used to the league, like Premier League, because it's so physical. So I think, first of all, if it is Liverpool, like you're saying, I think it's actually not a bad club for him to go for development. Yeah. But you could also argue that how much game time will we get? Because Liverpool do have a lot of attackers. They have Nunez, Gakpo, and Jota all able to start at striker, which is where Pepi plays. And let alone Salah's not even he's starting no matter what. So they have a lot of attackers up front. Who knows if he could how much game time we'll get? EFL Cup here and there maybe, but I don't see him starting too often. So I'd be more interested in seeing him go to I think it would be really cool is a Nottingham Forest. Yeah. They're doing really well right now. Chris Wood is great. I think he's balling like crazy. Yeah. But they need he's older. He's 31, 32. They need that young player to start taking game time.
They play differently too, so it would be a good thing to bring off the bench type thing.
Yeah,
exactly. So I don't know. A Nottingham Forest would be really fun. You could say I think Crystal Palace would be cool, but Crystal Palace are really weird, so I don't know how successful that is for him. I don't know, but just some ideas there.
Bournemouth would be a good shout.
I could see a Bournemouth.
Bournemouth would be cool.
I don't think they have $20.7 million to drop on someone in the January transfer window, but they might.
Maybe not January, but summer.
Not January.
They dropped a lot of money this past summer.
It's definitely a big club, probably. Liverpool,
true.
Because
but anyways, like you said, I don't know how many clubs will be spending 20 mil in the January transfer window. It will be a select few. But yeah, I don't think he starts no matter what club he goes to. I think he's going to be kind of transitioned in there little by little.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't just wouldn't make sense for him. Sorry. I'll let you go.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. I don't. He's not a Premier League player yet, right? And I love Ricardo Pepi. I do think he has probably the most potential out of any USMNT striker right now, and maybe strikers in CONCACAF, because he's been lighting it up for PSV recently. He fully deserves that starting spot, in my opinion. And he can go to a lot of places and get really good game time. But he's not a Premier League player yet. Nor do I think should he be. Development, maybe to an extent. You should go over there. Maybe go to a Liverpool and get loaned to a championship club or a La Liga or Serie A team. I don't know. But I don't think he's Premier League ready yet. Not saying he won't be. Maybe he will be in a year and a half, 2 years. But honestly, I don't think he should leave. I think he should stay at PSV for the rest of the season and one more, because I think Luke de Jong's getting old. he's not going to be around for a whole lot longer. I think PSV should move on with him somewhat soon. I mean, he's a good player for them, but I think PSV should be giving Pepi more opportunities. I think Pepi should stay for another year and a half and then get his like $40-50 million move after that, which I think he will be worth it by then.
He's balling right now, though. I mean, it could happen in the summer. I mean, nine goals in 10 appearances is pretty solid. So not just solid; it's really great. So I mean, if PSV get the right offer in the summer, I think they're gonna take it. Just because anything can happen in between that half of a season or a season next. Maybe it's form drop, something like that. But I don't see the move imminent. You know what I mean? Because also the reports did say PSV were looking for a higher offer anyways. So I think summer would probably be the time he would move, if anything, just from a financial point of perspective for PSV.
I'm waiting for the goddamn headline of I don't know, FC Cincinnati's looking at trying to get Ricardo Pepi or shit like that. Because it always happens. MLS is not that much different from Liga MX, and they always try to poach these players from abroad. They try, and it works sometimes.
Inter Miami is going to come in clutch,
and that's what kills me. Yeah, but yeah, Ricardo Pepi. I think I would love to see him in the Premier League one day, and I think he deserves to be in the Premier League one day. But that's for the far future. We can move on though to our last main person.
My boy,
and this is a very Mexican heavy episode, which hopefully, as more rumors come out in the future, we'll move on to other countries as well. But let's talk about Santi Gimenez, biggest name in Mexican football right now, in my opinion. Apparently, I believe his father, who's also his agent, has come out and said that they want to leave in January. They want a good opportunity to go elsewhere in January, which is interesting. I don't know why you would say that, but he is saying apparently he wants to leave, or at least his dad wants him to leave. Does he leave? Should he leave? Where does he go? I mean, I'm hearing there's no specific team, but I'm hearing shots all over the place. Premier League, Bundesliga, and I believe Serie A were the three that I've heard the most. Does he leave?
No, just because I don't see Feyenoord accepting any offers for him right now. I don't think anyone has except Liverpool, or like one of the big Man City type thing. I don't even know why Man City would try and get him, but anyways, that have the money right now in this transfer window to get a caliber player like Santi, who is in form consistently, even coming back from his major thigh injury. Came back super early from that too. No, but you got to remember, in the summer, Nottingham Forest did go after him twice. I
forgot about that.
A deal was accepted, but Santi did say no. You got to also remember, Santi signed a massive new contract with Feyenoord, right after the last season. So it would be kind of weird to accept a transfer offer that quickly, especially after the new contract.
Right.
So I don't know how that would work financially speaking. But I mean, he's been class. Let's be real. I mean, he scored that really good goal against Man City, led the comeback for the equalizer, make it 3-3. Also scored that insane bicycle kick. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I was going to say that bike was nice.
That bike was
nice.
The
Chileno was nice.
The question is there a team out there who has like the money that fits his style of play? You know what I mean? Because we've seen on the Mexican national team, if you don't play to his style, he's not going to be as effective as you want him to be.
Chivas. I'm sorry. I love how like Santi Gimenez is the one Mexican national team. Him and Edson are the two Mexican national team players that Liga MX teams are like, yeah, let's not even try.
I forgot about Edson. How did I forget about Edson when I was talking about the midfield earlier? Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Proper brain fart. What the hell? Happens. Someone's gonna flame me in the comments. I can't believe my team too. That's crazy. I would put for a shout. I know this is not gonna happen because we don't have the funds for Santi Gimenez, but I would love for him to be at West Ham. I think he would actually suit our play style decently well. I mean, it's just me dreaming. We got Edson, so he has a connection there already. But I mean, just doesn't. We don't have the money to pay for that. We have been linked to him before, but so have Chelsea and Arsenal. No, before.
I think every team.
Literally every team in the Premier League. I could see him going to a Nottingham Forest though, personally, just because they're flying high right now. They're pushing for that top 7 European spots. And I'm gonna be honest, West Ham aren't. We have nothing to offer. So except you got to play in the Premier League. That's it. You're not gonna win a Carabao Cup. You're not gonna win a FA Cup. Sorry, I'm blanking on it. You're not going to win anything really at this time. So it's might as well go somewhere else.
I'd love to see him at a top 6 Bundesliga club. I think Bundesliga, the league itself.
Leverkusen is a name that's always been in the same realm as Santi
Stop, bro.
Gimenez. And, oh my god.
That would be cracked. That would generally be cracked.
One of those clubs, Bundesliga always kind of like pushes offensive football. They're always scoring goals over in that league, bro. I think
over in that league, bro.
I think not only would it be exciting and he would be increasing his talent because he's playing with better players, but I think he'd be also increasing his confidence because he could be really cooking over there. And then we could maybe see that reflect in the national team, and he finally picks it up.
Yeah, I think Santi just has to, like, I'm not saying he should or shouldn't move now. I think obviously, I think the latest he should move is the end of the season, because I think Santi has earned the right to move, to be honest, from Feyenoord.
Yeah, I agree.
I do want to see him though in just different play styles, like different, like just styles of these teams playing than Feyenoord that maybe could reflect into the Mexican national team. I think that's what most Mexican fans should want, is him to go to where a good coach is. Right, you can go to a team that has an okay coach, but like I would love for him to go to Leverkusen. And like Diego's right, mentioning Bundesliga, but to work under Xabi Alonso would be, you know, a manager who absolutely revitalized the career of Victor Boniface, whatever his name is. I forget to pronounce his name.
Boniface. Yeah, Boniface.
Boniface.
If you want to be uber white, Boniface. Or if you want to just be like get it right, it's Boniface. I think.
Boniface. Boniface?
Yeah, like that.
Well, okay, you know what I'm talking about.
What
you know how I'm talking about. But, you know, if you were to go to a team like that with a manager who knows how to develop talent, who knows how to win, I think that'd be amazing. He can go to a Premier League team. I don't think he wouldn't do bad, but I do think there's just a higher chance of him faltering and losing that spark that Santi Gimenez has brought to Mexican fans. By going to a Premier League like that, especially in an era of the Premier League where everything is so formulaic, right? Everything is so formulaic, and if you get caught in that specific team's formula and ideas, it's really hard to translate that. I do kind of wish I think a Bayer Leverkusen is more creative, more flowy a little bit. There's just different than a Premier League, like the stasis of Premier League right now. I do think Bayer Leverkusen would be amazing. So if there's a team he goes to, it's that team. I don't particularly see him at a La Liga or Serie A team, if I'm being honest. Yeah, maybe in the future. I think it's a post-Premier League kind of move. But I think Bundesliga would be absolutely amazing. It'd make him uncomfortable, which I think it's different. Like it is similar enough to the Dutch league where he could succeed, but it's different enough where he can improve. I think that's what matters.
It's more about fluidity than system based in the Bundesliga. Yeah. Which is nice to watch. That's why I think a lot of people enjoy watching the Bundesliga, because it's not like copy paste. Every team's like, you kind of already know how they're going to play. It's kind of just different.
Right. Yeah, I think that's all that matters. As long as he goes somewhere where we know he's going to develop correctly and not just kind of be thrust into the role of goal scorer. Like I would like for him to go somewhere where he can learn a little bit. Maybe not start right away, but like grow into that role pretty soon. That'd be what I prefer for Santi Gimenez. I think it's going to cap it for this first edition of our CONCACAF Transfer Rumor Talk series. Now, if you guys are at this point in the video, make sure to leave a like because it helps us out more than you know. And make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on for those future ones. Then, yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys in the future. Leave a comment down below to your thoughts on anything we talked about in today's video and who you want us to cover next time. And yeah, I think it's it from us. We'll see you guys in future CONCACAF videos. Take it easy, guys.